Hello, it's me, Connor. Today we're going to play some Software Inc. I've already got a save kind of going right now, but I'm going to start a new one today. I think we need to be... I think we're going to be Kurt Wolf. I have a picture of him, but I think he's like that. I'll put it, no, it's like that. He's got long hair like this. Yeah, he's got nothing. I'm gonna give him a nice hoodie. And, oh. Men's pants. Accessories doesn't have any. It's gonna be... yeah, like that. His hair's gotta be blonde, though. As does his eyebrows. Yeah, that looks pretty much exactly like Kurt Wolf already. Let's change his shoes. Let's make them a more muted color. There we go. I guess I should explain what this game's about. Software Inc. is like a game where you run a software company. That's all you need to know. Today we're gonna make it Wolf Cola. Actually, yeah, Wolf Cola. That's what it'll be called. I'm gonna turn down his marketer so he can have better other skills. I kind of want to turn down his lead, but now I'm gonna leave it for now. Now we need to figure out what kind of software we're gonna make. I'm not actually sure. System's kind of just a safe one, but if we want to do something a little bit more interesting, algorithm. Stick with source system, design. Actually, let's do like, let's do games. Yeah. We're not going to be called Wolf Cola. We'll be called the Wolf Corporation. No. Wolf Inc. We're going to have... let's do hard. 1 day. Let's increase the starting money to... let's go with like 20. I don't want to get too crazy. Environment, city, days per month. We're going to do 1 day. You can do more, but that just makes the game longer. Which is good if you want a long-term simulation. I'm going to leave mods off as well. Alright, then here's our little block. Look at that. Got these two buildings either side of me, which is kind of neato. But yeah, let's get started. So first thing we're going to need is an office building for Kurt to program in. Since he doesn't have to, you don't have to fulfill his needs or anything like that, we're just going to make a basic little building like that. Kurt doesn't need to use the bathroom or anything like that. He really doesn't. That'll change when we get other employees, but for now, we're just going to develop stuff with just Kurt. Temperature vary a lot in the stream, so we're going to get a little radiator. Oh, I guess it'll get real cold as well, so... get a little ventilation. There we go. So now I've got proper ventilation and I've got a proper heater. So otherwise my electronics will start messing up and all that stuff. There you go. So real boring beginning building. Just keeps costs low because making buildings can be very expensive and we do not have enough money as it stands to start developing software anyway. So my middle mouse button is broken, I think. I forget what the keys are to... okay, yeah. There we go. So, first thing we're probably going to want to do before Kurt arrives for his first day is develop some contract work. This will get us just a little bit more money at the beginning. This one wouldn't be too bad. What kind of code is it, though? Yeah, we're gonna do that. There we go. Kurt's gonna code away. Since it doesn't need to be too good, we're just going to speed up the process a little bit. He's also not very skilled in system code, apparently, but whatever. All that matters is we're going to get money from it. So now he's got to the end of the day, and then I'm going to release it into whatever the contract people are. I forget what the name is. McCowFat Carrot. Oh, maybe that's the name of the program? Whatever. Alright, release. Contract fulfilled for a net worth of $10,702. Perfect. Alright, so how much do we have? 30,000. Let's do a couple more. This is just a real easy way to make money at the beginning of the game. They're just small things that you can complete in, like you say, just like 2 months. And I usually pick the ones that accept like horrible quality sort of thing, so it doesn't really matter how good you do it, it's just at least it's done. And I'm gonna develop that. Normally you'd wait for that to go much longer, but we just want this shit done. There we go. Contract fulfilled for a net worth of $10,331. Outstanding quality. Alright, and now we're gonna... 40,000 should be okay. So, this is where you build all your kinds of software. We're gonna do... Since he does 2D and that sort of stuff, we're kind of building towards ours. So we're gonna do game. He has some specialization in 2D graphics, so we're going to go ahead and have that. Music, it sort of asks for way more artists, and we have no specialization in audio, so... no algorithm. Local multiplayer, don't really have that. As it stands, we have a 30% interest with a max quality of outstanding, with low innovation. If we add the local multiplayer, it'll change it to low to medium, but it requires one more designer, one more programmer, which we can't really afford right now. Let's have a look here. Adventure. No. We're going to make an RPG, actually. That seems the most interesting. 2D graphics. Local multiplayer. Sure, why not? Let's try it out. So we need a game engine. We need a 2D editor. So the only thing that'll do it right now is the Shape Tech 4 from this company. So that'll cost $1,600 license. So that's not too bad. Plus we don't have any other options, so let's go for it. 2D editor. We can even make our own 2D software if we wanted to. But let's go ahead and pick one with a relatively cheap license. Actually, let's go in with like a good quality here. Not that it matters too much. This one's $1,800. Yeah, sure. How much will it cost so far? $3,400. That's not bad. And now we have to have it run on something. Currently, Sloth is the only operating system by MacroBreeze. Okay, how much is the license for that one? License costs $11,000. Not too bad, really. So, let's think of a name. Kurt's Quest. Works for me. We're going to price it. I'll leave the price stuff alone. Never really touched that off. Honestly, I don't really ever feel the need to. We could set it up on a server for source control management, but I don't want to spend the money on a server right now. That just reduces the amount of bugs you have to finish at the end. So, let's go ahead and develop. So when he comes into work next morning, we'll have a project for him to start. My middle mouse button really doesn't work. It was working okay before, but now it's just not doing anything. So I'm just going to keep using the keyboard controls to rotate the screen and all that sort of stuff. If you've never played this game before, it's really fun. Kind of get the gist of what's going on, sort of thing. It seems like a pretty complex UI, but once you get used to it, it's really straightforward sort of thing. Down here, you've got all the different things you can do, like you can develop software, you can look at your releases, your servers. You can even have project management if you hire like a leader sort of thing. There's research. You can put patents out on different products or different features and products that if you don't own them, you have to pay royalties to companies if you want it in your software. Contract work, I showed you that already. It's just like a small thing you can do to make money in the meantime. Manage your employees, hire employees, and you can have teams. Manage your staff, so that includes like having like cleaners come by. You can see the floor's all dirty. Cleaners come by and clean shit up, and also IT workers to come and fix stuff. You got all this stuff in finance, which allows you to buy stocks and take out insurance policies for employees, and you can also make money off of the interest over time. You can also take out a loan if you don't have any money at the time. But I usually find they're pretty expensive, and just doing your own contract work usually ends up being cheaper. And on the market, you got all software companies, and you've got like a news thing that lets you know what stuff's going on. There's upcoming releases, deals, distribution stuff. So you could print products. I'm running the alpha version right now, the testing branch. That allows you to print your own software more or less, but you can just put it online as well in a Steam-like thing. So looks like Kurt's Quest is getting quality great. I'm gonna wait till it gets to the maximum there. Looks like it'll max out at great, which is fine. Quality of Kurt's Quest is diminishing fast. Kurt Wolf is not very skilled in system code. Well, that's Kurt's problem and not mine. So let's have a look how much is needed. 8 code units, 4 art units. So this is just a generic, you could say they're megabytes, gigabytes, whatever. I just assume they're megabytes of information needed till the game's complete, more or less. So that's fine. We'll leave that for now. Leave him going. You kind of want someone like Kurt to be a bit better in system coding before he does stuff that involves system, like you saw before in the developed software. You could see like audio system. There's different specialities. Since he's untrained in it or lowly trained in it, it's going to diminish the quality on that aspect. So that'll reduce it from having a perfect score. And there's a way that you can actually have a look through the review system, like how everything works, pretty much, in terms of what determines if the software is good or not. It more or less depends on how talented the people made it are in the area that they're trying to work on, and stuff like bugs in the software. You know, obviously if there's lots of bugs, that'll reduce the scores of it as well, and it'll also increase the post-release support that the game will need. And obviously the more complex a game is, the more bugs it can potentially have. And that ends up becoming a big part of the game later on, is like post-game support you have for software that you release. So that's going on. So yeah, there's a lot of different building options as well. You'll notice here for building like a pretty cool office space. Again, we won't worry about that too much now. We're just trying to get software out there that at least does mildly good. Put it on hard difficulty to give myself a bit of a challenge. See what comes of it. If we click here on our monthly profits, we can even go to a chart and sort of see, like, so we made some money from a couple of contracts back then, and our balance has been going down pretty steadily, but not like drastically, just a small amount. We can stay afloat for quite a while just doing what we're doing right now. And what we're gonna do, actually, excuse me, got the hiccups. I noticed up there we had a little, put that back down. Computer's getting slow, so we're going to call IT support, and we're going to call cleaning to kind of clean it up. Not that that really affects anything, but I don't want it to be messy, so. So you can click on old computers, and it'll say like the state they're in. The lower their state, the less efficient at coding and making art and all that sort of stuff your employees will become. So now that we're at 4 code units, what we're going to do is we're going to go we're going to change something. I want him to not make any more art because he's doing not only the code but the art as well. I want to change, right now he's set to any role, so Kerwolf will just do anything. I'm going to change his role to programmer. So for the rest of development now, he'll focus on just programming, and that'll just speed it on along a little bit. Rather than dividing his time 50% between doing code and art, he's just going to be working on code now. You see it over there. Because if you look at the project details, minimum requirement for art units is 4. We've already got 4, a little over 4. So we're good there. So we just have to get this to 8, and then we'll be good for release. Also notice it's July 1981. Well over a year has passed since we started this little building. Now this is the part that people kind of have a problem with, is you can just sort of start the game, build a single office for your guy to work in. It doesn't seem that realistic. The upcoming Alpha 10, which I'm really excited about, offers a more realistic way of doing it. Is you don't have access to build the stuff until a bit later in the game. The first part would be you like renting out an office in a building, an existing building like one of these. So that I'm looking forward to. That makes a little bit more sense in the game world anyways. So one thing we really got to do is we're going to market this thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do 2 things. You have a bunch of different options for marketing it. But first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to announce a release date. So we're nearly done programming it. So let's say it'll release January of 1982. So that'll be in, I think, 6 months-ish time. 4 months. So I'm going to say that's enough time to debug it. No. Actually, let's give it a little bit more time. 6 months. That's what I want. March 1982. So I'm going to say yes. What I'm going to do is I'm also going to send a press build. Basically, it'll go to this little newspaper, the Software Times, and it'll be good or bad exposure for the game, depending on how well it's made. And at this point, we're nearly finished, so it should be fine. We'll have a look-see once we get to the next day's picture. So, 32,000 followers. It's not bad. I'm assuming it went well. Target demographic doesn't really know who Wolf Inc. is. We haven't really heard about Kurt's Quest. It looks amazing, has all the new features. They're aiming for March 1982. So, have a look at that. We've got 30-some thousand followers of the game. So that's just fantastic. The thing I'm going to do now, just because I usually find this is cheaper in the long run. I probably don't need to, though. How many should I get? Yeah, that'll be fine. So distribution can be handled outside and you just buy copies. But I don't want to do that. Oh, right, they're this size. You know what? That'll be fine. I don't need a massive amount. Because, like, this can hold... let's have a look here. How many can this hold? 27 boxes with 1,000 copies each. So 27,000 copies. I don't really need that many, so... And this, I don't know. I remember how many... This can make 18,000 copies per month. So that's quite a bit. We don't need quite that much. Oh, here it is. This is what I'm looking for. I ain't paying attention. Small product printer. And then what we're going to do is we're going to start to print until you reach beta phase. Okay, so we want to go ahead. Actually, we could probably do that right now. Still in the delay phase. Okay, here we go. Now it's beta. So we're going to print Kurt's Quest. We want... right now I've got 40,000 followers. So I'm going to limit it to 40,000. It's probably a lot, but whatever. That's fine. Oh, some inventory. I assume that's the cooler. So we're going to call maintenance. So a couple things that we need to keep doing is watching the followers. Looks like we have quite a bit, actually. Kurt's Quest is going to be a bit of a hit, it appears. So I've got 18,000 copies of Kurt's Quest currently on there. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna see, you can either call a courier who will pay, it's $50 up front and $75 per box. So if we do some quick maths, see how much that's gonna be. So I think it's gonna be more expensive just to call him rather than hire him. Hire him means he comes every month, but I'm not sure. Yeah, so that'd be 1.3 million if I did that correctly. So we're gonna do this. We're gonna hire a courier. For the next little while, he's just gonna roll up and take whatever boxes I have. Oh, there's nowhere to park, please. Okay. How many is on here? 2,700. So it's fine. We're just December. We have plenty of time. So courier needs a place to park, which I didn't know actually. I always seem to assume that they could just do whatever. So I'm gonna go ahead and put that there. So there's a little parking spot for my courier. There. So it's taken away all my stuff and only cost me $2,000, which is much cheaper than the amount it would normally cost. Heading for bankruptcy, huh? Well, that won't matter because I'm going to release this game in March. So let's have a look here. I need to check my distribution. That's it. So it's done printing, so I just have the courier to take the rest of these boxes and I don't need it anymore. Perfect, so there. I'll wait till she's gone, as I still want her to deliver the boxes. Alright, dismiss. Alright, so we spent $4,000 and got, I think, 40,000 copies out to people. So that's perfect. Looks like I'm losing followers, so I'm also going to send another press build. I don't have a dedicated marketer right now, so that'll just work for the moment. Just sending out another press build. And yeah, it looks like it worked for the time being. Looks amazing, has all the new features. It's not that far from release. You're damn straight it isn't. And we've fixed 111 bugs in the time. So we've given ourselves plenty of time to finish the software, iron out a lot of bugs. Imagine it still has a lot more, but this is manageable for now. So I want to let him finish until the end of the day. Releases, I believe I have 40,000 copies, which should be like more than enough, but I can always put more out. I doubt we will though, because I don't have a marketer, so hype will die pretty quickly after release. But another thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead. I probably should have put one out next one. Whatever, it's fine. Let him finish for the day, and then we'll release the product. Start a marketing campaign, we will, but yeah, that's fine. So this is where it says we can order copies, but since we've already got a bunch out there already, we don't need to. So if we go, let's check that by going in stock 40,000, perfect. And go ahead and go to the next day. We'll find out how many were sold. Oh, not bad. 6,500, just a little over 6,500. And they still got plenty in stock, so we don't have to worry about buying more. Alright, Wolf Inc. enters gaming scene with Kurt's Quest. Wolf Inc. is a newcomer and they're pretty new in the gaming scene. Kurt's Quest is a respectable product. It's a very complex piece of craftsmanship and it runs very smooth. There's so much to experience, it's completely humbling to witness. It'll be competing with Zombie Killer at Night 5 by Flash Trap Industries. Zombie Killer at Night 5, okay. In conclusion, Kurt's Quest might be worth the price. Well, that's worth hearing. So there we go, we got our first software release, and you can see here it's already making us a solid amount of money, which is good. At this point, you probably could hire a marketer just to work full time on this first game, but I'm not too worried about it. I got 12,000, an amount of refunds, which isn't really a big deal. Sales took a dip on the second, but that's fine. That's to be expected. Like, look at this sparse marketing campaign. And quality was good actually on that one, so that's good. I wonder if we'll need to print more. I don't think so. Sales orders starting to slow down. We got 21,000 in stock remaining. So we made our money off of it though. So here's coming a problem. We apparently need much more time to fix that game. Ah, whatever. I don't care. But what's important is I made money off of people. I could hire more people for support with the game. I think I'm gonna just write it off as a loss, more or less, afterwards. That's how modern business works. I'll let him keep going at it though until it stops making money, more or less. You might as well try and fix some shit. Almost 5,000 active users. Jeez. Not horrible. Oh, computer's getting slow. So we're going to call IT support, and we're going to call cleaning. Just because look how dirty it is there. Well, there we go. Mildly successful release. Look at that. It's bringing our profits up. We're almost $300,000 anyways, so could probably make it to 4 if we really pushed it. But based on how this is going and my declining active users, I'm going to assume it won't really go on for much longer than that. We could go ahead and just start working on a sequel, but I think... Yeah, I think before we do that, we have to do a couple things for Kurt here. So we're going to go ahead and slow this down. So we're going to educate the employee. And I want him to be good at a few things. He's solid at system already. Actually, let's have a look at what he's good at. So, employee details. So system design's kind of mediocre. System code's good though. Network audio and algorithm are all pretty low though. It's also got no system art, which I don't think is too big of a deal unless you want to make operating systems. I could increase his system design though. I think that'd probably be a good move. Maybe his 3D, but I don't want to get into 3D yet because it's not really a big deal. So yeah, let's increase his system design. And I'll just give him, we'll give him 1 month. So 1 month has passed. I guess 2 months. Now he's back. Missed a lot of things, but whatever. Let's have a look how good he is at that stuff now. Much better. So that's good. Yeah. So that'll be handy in the future if we want to make a sequel to that game, which we probably can. I don't know if I want to do it yet, but I'm just curious. Yeah, that looks much better. And if we wanted to include audio, I'd probably want him sent away to learn audio art. But that's a little bit more complex. Another thing I want to do is I want to kind of branch out. He's got all this talent with 2D. this is kind of a nice safe bet. We can make a 2D editor. Let's call it Wolf 2D. Yeah, sure. I want something that's just massively popular right now. So I want it on Sloth 2, obviously. And I could do it on Pen 5. Let's see what it'll do. How much is needed? Nothing, actually. So, perfect. And this will kind of allow us to have our own 2D software to work with, as opposed to having to pay licenses. Ironically, it'll cost us 13,000 in licenses to get this done, but like, there's pretty limited requirements for this. I could amp this up to that, and that would make it a little bit more unreachable, but for this, I think we're going to be okay. So, Wolf T 2D. So, we're going to go ahead and develop that. It says your team is chosen as quite small for the project of this size. It's actually perfect size, so I'm just going to ignore you. I'm going to go ahead. Is this still making me money? Kind of still is. Put that up a little bit higher than this. I'll eventually cancel the support for Kurt's Quest. Yeah, apparently it had a lot more bugs than I anticipated, so maybe that's part of the difference between difficulties. Just increases the amount of bugs that are in software. I'm going to go ahead and cancel support now, so that you can just work full-time on Wolf 2D. I'm also going to end this marketing. Oh, how could I forget? Change employee role to any role, because I need him to be good at everything. So that's why I wasn't doing anything. I wasn't even paying attention. Still 15,000 in stock, so that'll happen. Maybe $311,000, which isn't bad. Oh, and let's go ahead and develop Wolf 2D. I could do is hire on a marketer to help me market this game. I think I'm going to do that, actually. The problem with having other people is all of a sudden people have needs. People like Kurt, he's a perfect human being. He doesn't require things like a bathroom, which makes him a much better employee. But real people do. So this is, again, going to be kind of a garbage office, but, you know, whatever. Apparently the temperature will vary a lot in that room. Don't even care. So we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna give him a table, one of these, and a PC. And we're gonna build a shitty little bathroom. Put it right. Fuck, I don't care. Right there. Good enough. Well, okay. Yeah, put that in as well, I guess. That. No way of reaching that wall lamp, huh? Huh, well, I don't care. Actually, no, I probably should fix that. Let's see here. And let's put a window in here. Perfect. Gonna have a little bit of a break room, just so people don't go insane. Oh my god. Let's have a look here. Break room. Give them a couch. Give them a snack machine so they don't get too hungry. A water fountain. Fuck it, I'll give them some. I give them a plant. I don't know where I'm gonna give them a plant though. Yeah, this is a pretty small room, but whatever. I'm gonna put a clock in there too. Oh, in her office rather. Her office, whatever. Yeah, I think that's good. Apart from this, staff is unable to reach this wall lamp. What do you mean? How can they not get to it? fuck it, there's no wall lamp in there. I'm just gonna put one of these lamps. There, you can reach that. We need those coolers though, the ventilation. And I guess there's a radiator in here, so we'll put the radiator there. Perfect. Alright. We're gonna call cleaning, call IT, call maintenance, fix everything up real quick. And we're gonna hire a marketer. Let's pay like that amount. Begin looking. Alright. Alright, let's have a look here. Marketer. Perfect. So now I've got a marketer working for me. Who's this guy? Oh, that's IT. So the marketer will basically work full time to ensure that the product is marketed properly, if that makes sense. So let's go ahead. First thing we got to do is make sure they don't program anything. So, well, look at that. Lloyd Wolf. I didn't even pay attention to that. Just picked them around. I wonder if they like each other because they got the same last name. That's crazy. Lloyd Wolf. Huh. Who'd have thunk it? Alright, let's go ahead and change his role. Auto role. Well, that makes sense, marketer. So we're going to go ahead and mark it. And I don't want to announce a release date yet. Let's do a press build. No, press release. Yeah, perfect. Not a major press release, just a nice little one. Lloyd Wolf was called in sick. Well, that's just pointless. See, and one other thing, we don't want Kurt Wolf to be working on anything except the software. So I'm going to send him for a programmer for now. We'll finish that first, and then we'll work on the art. So how much needs to be done? 4 and then 3. So it's pretty minimal. We're almost done the programming as it is. We'll go to 4. We'll go 0.5 over, just so they have a little bit extra. I don't want to make it bloated, but... yeah, actually, yeah, maybe we shouldn't. Change employee role. Now we've got 4. I'm going to change it over to art. Is that what I just did? Yes. Lloyd Wolf. My computer works really well. Let's have a look at other details about Lloyd Wolf. I love working. I really like working with my team. This place looks nice. My computer works really well. Well, perfect. Let's actually check computers. 84%, 78%. We're going to go ahead and call IT support because I don't need those computers slowing down. Alright. Monthly profits have taken a bit of a tumble. But that's okay. So this press release is going to be done pretty soon here. And then as is Wolf 2D's actual programming life, so... it's taking a while to get all that art finished, but that's okay. Yeah, that's whatever. Lloyd Wolf's not in. That's the other thing wrong with employees and that the founder doesn't have, is the employees will call in sick. Kurt Wolf doesn't need to call in sick. He's got a perfect immune system. Okay, so we're at $2,000. So what we're going to do is we're going to do 2 things. We're going to announce the release date. So right now it's February. So let's give ourselves, it says September. It's kind of what it's recommending of 1984, which is not a bad option actually. So we're going to go ahead and say that, 7 months, yes. And we're going to release this. The effectiveness of the actual press release will change if it has a release date on it. So, looks decently feature rich. They're showing off the product with pictures and it sounds great. So perfect. So one other thing we're going to do is we're going to mark it. We're going to hype. And we're also going to do one better. We're going to send out a press build that'll come out next month. That's also... Oh, no. Call cleaning, not maintenance. I don't need maintenance. Let's look how dirty it is everywhere. Ooh, look at that jump in followers. It looks amazing and it boasts a decent feature set. It will release in September 1984. So let's go ahead and promote this. Another thing we got to do is we got to make sure that Kurt Wolf is back onto any roll. We could also make another press release. So we'll go ahead and do that. Look at how many followers we have. This one's going to be a big hit. So another thing we're actually also going to do is we're going to start printing copies of it. Yeah, let's limit it to. Let's go a bit more. So 60,000. And we're gonna hire a courier. Actually, we won't yet until we've got some in the inventory. So, all right, might as well do it now. Whatever. Hire courier. So now I've got our little software company up and going. It's perfect, it's beautiful. So let's call cleaning. We can dismiss the courier because we've got all the copies out there already, all 60,000 copies, which is probably a little excessive. We're gonna mark it. We're gonna release a press build. Yes. So we don't have our marketing guy here to prevent the loss of followers. So, I mean, we're taking a dip in numbers, but that's okay. Could do. Change it to programmer, so he's just working on the bugs for now. What do we got here? Oh, quite a jump there, actually. Big hit and boasts a decent feature set. It's not that far from release. That's right, it comes out this month. Come hell or high water, I'm also going to be releasing this press release to help with numbers. I can't imagine it'll help that much, but let's see what happens. Alright, so let's release that. Yeah, I think that jumped a little bit. Alright, so let's go ahead and release. Have a marketing budget. No. And let's see how many copies are in stock. 61,000 apparently. Sick. Alright. Let's see how well it does. $280,000 in its first release day. How many did we sell? 6,000 copies. Perfect. Looks like it did decently well. Let's look at the reviews. OCD has been a positive surprise. It's a complex piece of craftsmanship and it runs very smooth. It's packed full of art and it's beautiful to behold. It will be competing with Photo Pro 8 by Beta Studios. It could do with more modern features. Well, whatever, man. It's 1984. I do what I want. So now, I'm just going to have it be marketed. Hopefully we can get it above sparse. That'd be kind of handy. Look at that. Holy moly. It's quite the jump there. He wants more money. Alright, Lloyd. Do you... There we go. Look at all that. That's great. We had a decent jump in sales there. How many we got in stock? Ooh. So we're gonna have to print more copies. Start printing. Let's limit it by... Let's do 30,000. Perfect. And we're gonna call or hire the courier. So hopefully we'll have enough stock for tomorrow. Yeah, we're fine. Oh, slow computer. So let's go ahead and call IT, call cleaning. Let's call maintenance. Now they got 20,000 copies in stock. Perfect. We'll wait for those copies to get out in stock. Perfect. And then we can go ahead and dismiss the courier because we don't need him anymore right now. There you go. 32,000 in stock. Might need to print more, but I think for now... doing just dandy. Looks like it's a pretty manageable support right now too. We don't need that much. Prominent marketing campaign. No, so Lloyd Wolf has been doing his work. 11,000 users and very few bugs. It would appear anyway. Must be just a much simpler software, so. Well, look at that. We're a mildly successful company now. So I'm going to leave it off for this episode, and we'll come back to this another time. See ya.